on. Oh.
So, hey, good evening from Ethiopia. We just got back from a very long and hard day of taping. And a handful of tragic things happened today. It's going to take a while to process.
I don't know if I'll ever fully process what we experienced today. We're on a trip with Life Outreach to talk about the food crisis here. And we went into a malnutrition clinic today, not really knowing what we were going to see or experience. I mean, you kind of have an idea, but I had no idea, Anita, what we were about to experience walking in there. And I don't think I'd even fully recovered from it.
It's going to take a while.
There was one baby that, in particular, died today after we had all walked out of a room, and then we went into another room, and where a baby was dying.
He was born premature at 8 months, and he was a week old, so he was already really sick from that, being born premature in a country like Ethiopia. And then he was obviously malnourished at the same time.
Yeah.
And he literally, while we were in the room, stopped breathing. And they actually believed that he had gone and passed. They took the tubes out of him. And of course, we were all praying at the moment. And he started breathing again. They thought he was gone, and he started breathing again. They put the tubes back in him, and we ended up, we had to leave, and we did other things, and I checked back in on him a couple times before we left, and he was still alive. And so there's power in all of that happened. Yes. That you got to process.
Yes. So much happened today. So many moments that, like, God placed us right in specific places at just the right time. There was another little guy that was hit by a rock. Ooh, precious little boy. I mean, maybe 4, could have even been 3. And I saw this rock coming from another little older boy, just lobbed this rock, and it came and just hit this little baby boy right in the head. And Anita and I were in the car, saw it all happen, and just blood everywhere just started gushing down, and he just started kind of like, he looked like he was gonna faint, could hardly take steps, and we were both like, get the first aid kit, and everybody was gone. Everybody else was shooting a story someplace else, so we were the only ones in this place at that exact moment.
And I remembered I had brought Neosporin and Band-Aids with us just in case, and I'm like, I've got Band-Aids and Neosporin, let's go help him.
So we jumped out of the car and we ran to this little baby as they were also bringing him toward us.
Because they probably thought, white people, they can help.
Well, they might have thought we were doctors or nurses of some kind. And you know what? We put on that hat immediately, didn't we? And we raced to that little boy. And we had water, we had Neosporin, we had Band-Aids, tissues, we had everything. And as we were cleaning this little boy up and holding pressure on his head and praying over him,
because it was just gushing, it was so much blood,
the whole community circled Anita and I and this little boy. They were completely silent, watching us go to work and praying over this little guy. And he stopped crying immediately.
He stopped crying.
We were able to stop the blood. We cleaned him up and
put Neosporin on it, put a Band-Aid on it.
But we drove out of that village maybe an hour later, and we passed that little guy, remember? We passed him and his family, their house, their little hut, and he was like,
he still had the Band-Aid on, and he was so happy.
He was smiling at us. Happy. We're like, he'll probably never forget us, and we will never forget him. We will never forget this day. And as hard as it was, we thank God for giving us an opportunity to see what we saw, because our hearts are forever changed. And for me at Life Today and Life Outreach, this is why I'm here. And I can't wait to share with you the stories that we have captured this week and the great need that is throughout this great land that we've had a chance to spend time in this week. Want to say anything else?
You said it. You got it all.
We'll talk to you later.